On February 17th, 1947, the Voice of America makes its first Russian language broadcast into the Soviet Union. The VOA begins in 1942 as a German language radio program to counter Nazi propaganda. By the time the war ends, the VOA is broadcasting 3,200 programs in 40 languages each week, with the added goals of bolstering Allied morale and spreading American values throughout Europe, Asia, and Africa. After the war, the VOA continues as part of America's Cold War propaganda campaign and is primarily aimed at Europe. In 1947, it directs its first Russian language broadcast at the Soviet Union with the words, "Hello, this is New York calling." This initial broadcast is rather dry, including a brief summary of current events, an explanation of how the U.S. political system works, and an analysis of a first-generation antihistamine called pyrobenzamine. Later broadcasts focus on news stories, human interest features, and music, with the goal of showing Russians what life is like outside of the communist bloc. Well, it's unknown to this day how many Russians ever actually heard these broadcasts during the Cold War, but there are reports that indicate that many of these VOA programs were very popular and were eagerly awaited each night, especially the music segments, which I think isn't a surprise. These were definitely some of the most popular programs throughout the run of the VOA during the Cold War. Now, one interesting thing too is that you have this entire generation of German and Soviet people who absolutely fell in love with American jazz, and a lot of this has to be attributed to the VOA. In fact, we really won the propaganda war during the Berlin airlift in many ways thanks to the VOA and thanks to jazz music, as the people in post-war Berlin in particular absolutely obsessed with American jazz music. And the VOA is still around today. In fact, I'm going to give you some statistics and information here as of 2022. It's funded today by the U.S. Agency for Global Media. It has an annual budget of actually $252 million, and now it's over 80 years that the VOA has been broadcasting. It's, of course, a multimedia thing today. It's not just radio, it's online platform as well. More than 45 languages today. And one thing that really surprised me researching this is how many people actually are still listening to the VOA. It has a worldwide audience of 326 million people as of 2022. And I guess maybe even more surprising is that audience has grown in recent years. In fact, in 2016, the number was just 237 million. So it's gone up nearly 100 million people in just that 6-year span. 961 employees of the VOA today. If you've liked what you've seen here today, which I mean, of course you have, how could you not? Please like and subscribe. It really helps me here at Learn with Mr. Lewis. Also, there's another great video that you could watch right here, and maybe an even better one right here. Thank you.